full of brines. I'm royalty, that means that it's in my bloodline. All hell the king, made the president resign. And if I'm not the king, then I'm making doves cry. I'm stepping on the scene like I never did reply. I ain't gotta just.
First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Detroit Lions. 22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance. And we are underway from Ford Field. We'll see a return here from the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. 'Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Well, this defense for the Panthers, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he went backwards. They'll be down at the 30. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Operating from the gun, Bird. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
No doubt about it, a really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defense advantage, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback. They also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. First carry for James Conner. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Play action here, Corral. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had the defender right down with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Oh, the return is Ward. A good work bringing that one back Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'm trying to do better. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Looking to throw. Burn. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off the play fake. Burn rolling to his right. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing the throw. Now they got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Burn. Dancing to his left. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Lions are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. That time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end and have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice play coming off the edge.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's Corral on first down. There's another one complete to Chenault. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's second down. Throwing here, Corral. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 43. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Off play action. Here's Corral. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. The 30. 10. 5. And into the end zone. A scoop and score on the fumble return from a Detroit touchdown. Seibert on for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
But that was actually throwing game 101 right there. You challenge double coverage like that, you're liable to get burned. Fortunate, that was just incomplete.
Now a throw out to his fullback is complete. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position. It's actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. On third down, here's Corral. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Well, a very strong gain of 24. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
He's got him in. complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. He's going to go up top again. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Robert Tonyan, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And it's now 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse, and this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
On 2nd and very short, Corral got his man complete over the middle. That's Moore. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Corral to Moore there. Good for a Carolina first. The first down throw here for Corral. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead is knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Game clock sitting at 2:02, so they'll get one play before the 2-minute warning. Corral sets up play action. Flushed out right. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
First down, here's Corral with it. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort with the mistakes that happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Corral. There's the stiff arm. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Fakes a handoff. Now Corral to throw it. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, When they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Amari Barno, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
On second down, McCaffrey. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up. That ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach, or probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
On first down, it's Corral. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And so we're into maneuver. And he will step out of bounds down near the 10-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 44 yards. So now following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10. Here's Corral on first down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Lions are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
They were well aware of the scoreboard as they went into halftime, and they know how tough it's been to put up any kind of points. But if there's a positive after that play, is that they were able to take a shot at the end zone on their opening drive of this half. The negative, though, that shot is...
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Looking to throw on second down. Byrne. And this one's incomplete.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Here comes the Lions punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That's pulled in at the 32. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it will be the Panthers' ball, first and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll try and run for it with Connor. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down. They're going to run. Here's Connor. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Switching it up, Corral will throw here.
And that is incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Corral, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and this is scooped up by the Lions. The 20. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that makes this 35-0 now. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
This is taken in by McBride.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back. But now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Corral from the gun on 3rd down here. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Corral to throw on 1st and 10. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Another 1st down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
1st down, Panthers.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. McCaffrey on the counter. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another thing that has painted the picture of this game overall. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
3rd down, here's McCaffrey fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Fourth down, desperation time. Here's Corral. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Lions are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. He's airing it out for Williams. They've got his man, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, 82 yards. And the Lions add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and it is 42-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2nd down and right back to McCaffrey. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
8-yard pickup. And the Panthers first down.
On 1st down, Corral. Pass to the right, and he's got McBride. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Corral with it. 1st down here. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. We've talked about it, CJ, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away. On 3rd down, Corral able to get this one to McBride.
And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
An 8-yard pickup. First down, Panthers.
Corral with it on first down. This is Anderson over the middle. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. So 2nd and 4 from the 22. Corral looking to throw it. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And it's looking all the more likely that a fifth straight win is going to be in the cards. They'll try to run some time here with a 1st and 10. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense...
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Off-play action. Byrne. He's got this complete to Williams. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Extra point by Sider, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. On 1st and 10 is Connor. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Lions, they continue to show they'll be a tough out in the playoffs as they move to 14-2 on the year.
for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. They hit them either close range or at a distance. If God's for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest.
Let's go. I am the great. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the great. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the great. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the greatest of all time. Said I'm coming for everything. You good, but to be great, you gotta have confidence. The next level was legend. You gotta have accomplishments. In any league, they considering me dominant. The long falls, you know the pit of the feet's bottomless. I was hungry way before I got your support. I hopped off the porch around the time that y'all got awards. Lyrical exercise, just what I call a sport. The fourth bar, brother, when I push the rock off the court. I got champion genetics. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. I am the great. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Remember me. I am the great. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the great. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Remember me. I am the great. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. The chattermouths who talent don't average out. If your flow ain't nowhere near this caliber, that don't count. Competition get flattened out. Getting money like I went top 3 in the first round. My salary that amount. They want my style, but that ain't much to be flat about. I take it as a challenge when rappers calling my status out. One of the best, and they ain't my pedigree. You can have the rings, or we did an AI's legacy. I got champion.